It's not just Caitriona Balfe. Sam has many shady relationships. In the glittering world of fame, where smiles are perfected and scandals are carefully buried beneath red carpets and award speeches, the truth often lurks in the shadows. For years, the public narrative surrounding Sam has been carefully curated: charming, private, loyal, and endlessly professional. His connection to Caitriona Balfe was long perceived as the center of whispered speculation. Yet, in this fictional retelling, Caitriona is far from the only name tangled in Sam's complicated emotional history. Behind the carefully controlled interviews and polished public appearances lies a far more intricate web of relationships, some fleeting, some intense, and many left deliberately undefined. A pattern hidden in plain sight. Those close to Sam often describe him as magnetic but distant, capable of drawing people in while keeping his true intentions just out of reach. In this imagined account, former acquaintances suggest that emotional ambiguity has always followed him. Relationships began with intensity, late-night conversations, secret trips, and promises whispered off camera, but rarely ended with clarity. Instead, they faded into silence. According to fictional insiders, Sam cultivated an image of discretion, preferring private arrangements over public commitments. This allowed him to move freely between circles, leaving behind unanswered questions and unresolved emotions. Caitriona Balfe may have been the most visible name associated with him, but she was allegedly only one chapter in a longer, more complicated story. The Women Who Never Spoke. In this fictional narrative, several unnamed figures appear, women from different stages of Sam's rise to fame. Some were industry professionals, others outsiders pulled into his orbit by chance. What they shared was not notoriety, but silence. They never confirmed relationships. They never denied them either. Rumors suggest that confidentiality agreements, unspoken understandings, or sheer emotional exhaustion kept these stories from surfacing. In public, Sam remained untouched by scandal. In private, connections dissolved without explanation. For some, the lack of closure was more painful than any public fallout could have been. Caitriona, the most misunderstood link. In this imagined world, Caitriona Balfe stands apart not because of wrongdoing, but because of visibility. Fans dissected every glance, every interview pause, every shared laugh. Yet fictional sources claim that their connection, while emotionally significant, was also marked by misalignment, two people navigating fame in very different ways. While Caitriona allegedly sought emotional grounding, Sam remained elusive, uncomfortable with definitions. The tension between expectation and reality slowly eroded whatever bond existed, leaving both to move on in silence while the public continued to speculate. Shady or simply broken. The word shady carries weight, but in this fictional portrayal, it does not imply criminal behavior or deliberate harm. Instead, it reflects emotional inconsistency, a pattern of half-truths, blurred boundaries, and relationships kept in the dark. Friends in this imagined account suggest that Sam feared commitment not because he lacked feeling, but because he felt too much. Fame magnified every decision, and avoidance became his defense mechanism. By never fully committing, he never fully risked losing control. Yet those left behind paid the price. A reputation carefully preserved. What makes these fictional relationships especially compelling is how little they disrupted Sam's public image. His team, his timing, and his silence ensured that nothing ever stuck. Interviews focused on craft, charity, and humility. Personal questions were deflected with practiced ease, and so, the narrative remained intact. Until now, the cost of silence. In this imagined exposé, the real tragedy is not scandal, but emotional fallout. Relationships that existed only in shadows rarely heal properly. Without acknowledgement, there is no closure, only speculation and lingering doubt. Sam continues forward, admired and untouchable, while fragments of his past remain unresolved, carried quietly by those who once believed in something more. Final thoughts. This fictional story is not about assigning blame, but about exploring the darker corners of fame, where emotional accountability is optional and silence becomes currency. Caitriona Balfe was never the only name in Sam's orbit, just the one the world noticed. And in the end, the shadiest relationships are not the ones exposed, but the ones that were never allowed to exist in the light.